What's up everybody and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the last episode we completed the first part of the Trial of the Sword, and in this episode we're finally going to be getting on with some new story elements in this game. So first things first, we need to get out of Quark Forest, and the easiest way to do that for us is simply just going to be to warp to this shrine here on top of the Great Plateau, because it's pretty close to the general direction that we want to head next. And we'll actually be heading southwest from where we are in terms of the map. And there's a couple of shrines that we can get along the way. One we'll have to hop off and kind of head in the opposite direction of where we need to go, and then we'll have to warp back up to this shrine that we were just at, or that we're at now, or that we're teleporting to, and then we'll have to continue on with the path. Though generally speaking, we should be able to kind of skip most of the path by gliding. Yeah, you can actually see where we're heading pretty much directly behind us. Yeah, we're heading up over there, and there's a tower right up there, of course, that we'll also be able to see. And I may be able to get out of here before we take any significant cold weather damage. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit, but nothing too serious. But the first shrine that I actually want to head to is right down here under this bridge. And we could go to the stable, which is right through there, and grab our horse. But I don't see really much of a use when we can just simply glide from here pretty close to where we want to go. And yeah, there's a blue Hinox up there, so I don't think he drops anything too spectacular. And this is the Dig Dog Suspension Bridge, by the way. That's what that area up there is called. But yeah, we're already here at the first shrine. And, okay, I look away for 2 seconds just to check my audio, and all of a sudden I'm jumping versus examining the shrine. It's kind of funny. And I really would have liked to... Oh, okay, it's just a minor test of strength. I thought it was going to be something, like, huge, because I saw the background, and then I saw this, and I thought, oh no, I was not prepared. But it's just a minor test. The weapon's not even going to be that good. And it's just going to be the basic first level weapon. And this guy's barely going to have any health. And I was not ready for him to do that, though. We should be able to take this guy out really, really easily. Like, he's already halfway dead now. And he's going to start to charge up that laser, but no matter. Actually, wasn't even ready to do that. Yeah, he's just going to give us a regular Guardian Spear. Pretty quick to take out. We're already pretty strong now as it is. And now we can head over and grab this chest and then see what's inside, and then of course get on out of here and continue on our way to Gerudo Desert is actually where we're headed. And we got an ancient core, and I still need to go and grab those upgrades for the Sheikah Slate. Actually, you know what? In fact, before I forget, I think we're going to do that right now. I think we'll have enough time in this episode to get at least most of the stuff that I want done, and to be able to go grab the upgrades for the Sheikah Slate. So I think we'll go ahead and do that now before we continue on with heading towards Gerudo Desert. So if the map will load, it's actually taking quite a while. Usually doesn't take this long, but yeah, there it goes. And now that we're out here, yeah, there's not really anywhere you can go anyway. You have to kind of warp out anyway. So let's actually warp over to the Hetano Ancient Tech Lab, and we'll get that settled. I probably could have done it at the end of the last episode, but to be honest, I kind of forgot. So I think I even mentioned it in the last episode as well. So, and also I'm struggling to keep up with my recordings for some reason. Like, today, episode 25 just came out at the time of recording this, and I had 26 ready for tomorrow, and then episode 27 was just recorded yesterday, so I'm going to try to get through a couple today to kind of make sure I stay ahead. And actually, let's talk to Purah here. Hey you, did you bring me any ancient materials? Yes I did. So which one do you want to power up? Let's do remote bombs. Remote bomb power up time. Yahoo! For that I'll need 3 ancient shafts. Sure thing. 3 ancient shafts and an epic snap. Here I go. No thanks, but I'll go ahead and hit snap anyway. Hey-oh, got it. Okay, apparently I did. Hey-oh then, remote bomb upgrade underway. Guidance stone remote. Guidance stone, lock removed. Now, let's do this thing. Put the Sheikah Slate in. And I don't think we've seen this cutscene for quite a while. Sheikah Slate authenticating, enhancing remote bomb rune. And yeah, this is kind of one of those other things that I kind of, for my terms of 100% completion, are going to have. I'm not necessarily going to have the compendium or anything like that. We may do those on stream. And we've had so much problem with the Korok seeds that I don't want to do like one episode of the Great Plateau and then have 2 of them skipped and then jump in with Tabantha as a recording or even a live stream. So we'll probably just leave that to off camera still. But anyway, let's go ahead and grab that last upgrade, and it's just the only one that's left is Stasis, and I believe that is only going to allow us, and I'm not going to say, I'm expecting more enthusiasm, but whatever. Okay, then Stasis upgrade underway, Guidance Stone lock removed. Now, let's do this thing. But yeah, I believe all this does is allow Stasis to hold things in place just a little bit longer, and I think our bombs, actually, no, I think it restores quicker, and I think that goes for all of them as well. For like the remote bombs, I think they restore a little bit quicker now, which would have been helpful while we were in Trial of the Sword. But since we still have 2 more levels of that left to go, I think that'll be really helpful once we get to it. Alright, so there's Stasis Plus, and now we can continue on our way with heading to Gerudo Desert now. Yahoo! My little guidance stone did the trick. Hee hee. What's this? Perhaps you've went and powered them all up. Well, I suppose with your Sheikah Slate and your legendary swordsmanship. I'll get it right in a second. Swordsmanship. There we go. We have nothing to fear. Yes, quite. Nothing at all. Not even Calamity Ganon. Slated for upgrades is now complete. So she said Calamity Ganon, so let's say we go and take him on. No, I'm just kidding. We're definitely not going to do that. We're definitely not ready. We'd have to take on 2 bosses and then fight Calamity Ganon, and he would only be taking down a quarter of a health versus half, which would definitely not be good at all. Yeah, so for every Divine Beast you don't defeat, you have to fight the boss in kind of the sanctum of Hyrule Castle before you can actually take on Calamity Ganon himself, which is a neat trick to kind of keep people from trying to rush to the boss. Now, a lot of people still do it, and a lot of people like try to speedrun it and stuff. I'm not one of those people. I definitely don't try to do that. I'm not very good at this game, as you guys have been able to tell, probably. And yeah, actually the next shrine that we're headed to is right down there. And there's a couple of like mobs around that'll be ready to attack us if we're not careful, but we can generally stay away from them without a problem. And also, once we get down into like the actual desert area, and we're going to have to climb this giant cliff as well, which may be what we do next before we head over to the next shrine. And it's probably going to be kind of on the way anyway, so it's probably a good idea that we go ahead and once we grab this shrine, try to climb up to that tower and take it on. There's another shrine that's like right over there, but it's a shrine quest, and so I think you actually have to talk to someone in Gerudo Desert, and I'm not 100% sure. I kind of didn't prepare enough for this episode, but we'll wait until a little bit later on to get that. We'll definitely be getting all the shrines in this region and another region nearby before moving on. Actually, we'll probably take on 3 different regions before we head on to the next area, and let those 2 kind of be the last areas, I guess, that we kind of take on. That's what I think. Actually, we may do all the rest of them before the region, before the next Divine Beast, which would give us 4 regions in total. Okay, so this is on the move, and what we need to do here is probably just freeze the ball, okay, or miss it entirely. That's okay too. Just wait for another one to come through and make sure there's no chest around. And then probably just hit this guy with an arrow or something, or 2. And that should knock him. Okay, or not. Probably 1 arrow should do the trick. Yeah, there we go. One arrow did it, the trick, and we can head on in here now. This door should open. Indeed it did. And we should just have another puzzle through here. And I don't know if there's any chest in here or not. There probably are. And oh, there's some guardians here. I'm just going to try to avoid these guys, really. Just trying to stand still and just kind of take their hits. And we got that in fairly quickly, actually. The shocker, and wow, we actually took damage from that, I think. Actually, I couldn't really tell. We may not have. There is a chest over there, which I kind of would like to get. Oh, okay, I see. Oh no, the chest. Dang. I think it's going to reappear over there anyway. They should come back through. I don't think... It may not, actually. No, yeah, there it is. I had to think. The chest... They wouldn't just, like, leave the chest, like, just disappear and not come back. So, we can grab this and we'll just open it right here on this platform. So I don't have to worry about it rolling off again. Alright, so what's inside? Opal. Not great, but not terrible either. We'll walk right up next to this thing, and then we'll let the this thing here block our path. Oh, actually, no. We have to use stasis here, and then we'll have to run by here. And oh, we're looking for a ball. Oh, geez, it's over there. Well, that didn't work. I completely missed the ball that was obviously right in my line of sight. It wasn't really, actually, but you guys get the gist. Alright, so I have to freeze this again and fall off again because, of course. Oh, geez. Alright, let's try this one more time. Maybe if I just do this. Okay, no, jumping's obviously not going to work because it knocks me off. Ragdoll physics are not being used for the win here. And I think we're actually taking quite a bit of damage. I think if we just run through it, we should be okay. Yeah, it's actually generally easier that way. Yeah, but this was definitely not in my line of sight. So how was I supposed to know that like this was going to like be here? I mean, really, game? You're not helping me here. I'm sorry if you can hear dogs. I have dogs. And they like to move around for some reason. They're sweet and precious little things, but they can also be a handful at times. Alright, so we have to stop here now. Freeze this. And then run as fast as we can. And this platform should give us enough time to get across the laser. Indeed it did. Now we can step over here. Throw the ball in, and then this should be it, actually. I believe this is the end of the shrine. That should have been the only chest as well. And yep, indeed it is. That is the final part of the shrine. And we'll get our spirit orb and get on out of here. And now that we're done with that, I guess we can head towards our tower now. And yeah, your resolve or your resourcefulness, something like that. I didn't really read it. Yeah, I don't really care, actually. So next thing's next. I've never said that before, and I don't think anyone has ever said that before. Next thing's next. That doesn't really make sense. But now we'll just head up to the tower, and it's kind of tricky to get there, if I remember. Not necessarily, like, once you get up to the top. I think there's, like, some mud pits up there, but you can just use your stasis. I think the hard part is actually climbing the mountain. Because there's a lot of like mining kind of looking things like this, yeah, here, and actually there's even a Korok seed here. One of those is, there's a block around here somewhere, I'm sure, but I'm not too worried about it right now. We'll do that when we get a hold of Gerudo Korok seeds. Actually, there it is right there. It may do me better to jump off and yeah, land up here. I didn't even know you could pick those up as Link. That's kind of cool, actually. Actually, it may do us better to actually save our stamina and just run across these and slowly make our way up to the top. That's probably generally a quicker idea because Link does climb pretty slowly. and we can sprint across these without too much of a worry. And yeah, this will take us almost all the way up to the top, I think. I think we have to go to this side. Yeah, the wooden platform there kind of shows us which side we need to be on. And then we'll climb up here, because I think if you just climb the other side, it would just stop you at the top, which isn't too big of a deal, but I mean, I'd like to, make it up the first time. So, okay, so this time we have to go up on this side, and yeah, there's some enemies up here, and like this guy's on the giant bridge. Come here, buddy. I'm just gonna knock you off now. Yeah, you fall all the way to your death. No big deal. That is a really long fall. I think no matter what health you have, if you're Link and you do fall off there, you're in trouble. There's a Wizrobe over there. Just gonna try to avoid him if at all possible. The tower's over there. And I think we may be able to run up this way over here without too much of a problem, without having to climb too much. That's probably be our quickest route. Generally, if you can find a way to run up a cliff versus climb, you're in pretty good shape. And it's generally better to do that because Link will run faster than he'll climb. Then again, you have to do a little bit of climbing like that, or just some very short climbing this, where Link kind of does this animation versus his usual climbing animation, which is generally slower. And once you get to a spot that's safe to run, you can just run again. And we're pretty close now, and yeah, there's still wolves, even though we're in the desert. They're just desert wolves, I guess. And this area here is actually kind of an homage to another Zelda game, and once we get up to the top and we kind of figure out the name of this place, I'll kind of explain more in detail what exactly it's paying homage to. Some of you may already know what exactly it's paying homage to. And also, I'm sorry if you just heard me take a really deep breath. I don't know, I was running out of breath, so I had to just take in a big old gulp of air. I'm not really sure if you guys can actually hear me breathe or not when I do that. But I don't know. I don't really pay that much attention when I'm listening through to my audio. I'm just listening for the big loud noises. And I don't generally listen to all of the audio. Especially when I'm doing stuff like this. And while we're already here, actually that's kind of insane. Yeah, but like I said, there's mud here. Just use not stasis, cryonis, and you're gonna be in good shape. You're not gonna have to worry about it. You can just climb your way up here. And this is the Wasteland Tower. I was not ready for the wind. Can I even make that? I can, just barely. Let's actually use our last Rivali's Gale. See how high we can get. And actually, we get pretty much most of the way out, which is pretty insane. And I don't think that wind's going to take us up any farther, sadly. But now we have enough stamina where we can just leap all the way to the top. And yeah, it's a little chilly up here. It's kind of high in the sky. But once we activate the tower, we'll just jump off and head on to the next area. Shika Tower activated. We'll get a good view of kind of what's around. So this area kind of here before Gerudo Desert, that's not a part of those snowy mountains off to right there behind us over there, is considered a wasteland. And you can see the Gerudo Desert in the background over there as well. And of course we'll get the map, and that's pretty much it actually. There's not really much else that we can do here on the tower. Generally don't visit this tower or this area too often, except for the couple of shrines that are nearby. And the map is pretty large in this section of Hyrule. And now we kind of have the map going all the way from north to south in a way, I guess, because you have this little section here that kind of cuts it all the way through. And we're pretty close to being done, actually. I want to cover these 3 areas along with this area up here, like what I was talking about earlier, before we head to the final Divine Beast, which is in this area here on Death Mountain. Death Mountain is going to be located kind of in this area, and I'd like to explore this, and then these 3 down here, and get all the shrines before heading off to Death Mountain. But before that, I think this area is labeled on our map now. Yeah, this is a Spectacle Rock. If you guys remember, that was the name of the And also there's Divine Beast, Vanaboris, inside of a giant kind of sandstorm, I guess, or he's causing a sandstorm. So you can't really go in there with him because he's causing like a giant storm. And if you did, you'd pretty much be electrocuted immediately, unless you had an item to protect you from the thunder, which sadly we don't have. And actually, once we get right down here, there's a stable, but there'll be no point in stopping for our horse because the horse cannot enter the desert, because the desert is actually really just sand everywhere. And so you kind of have to just, it's mainly uses for like going from the desert back towards Hyrule, which we'll never really need. So there's no real point because we can always just warp back to like, the main area of Hyrule. Anyway, this is the Kano Shrine. It's one I can actually pronounce. And I don't exactly remember what's inside of here, so I think it's just something about electricity. Actually, because the desert really does have a lot of like puzzles and stuff, and that has a lot of stuff to do with like electricity. And for a second it kind of looks like a power shrine or like a test of strength shrine, but it's actually not. And so that electric ball is being held within a metal ball, which I'm surprised doesn't electrocute Link, because it definitely should, because metal conducts electricity. Like even in this game, it like makes sure you know that electricity is conducted by metal. Or other way around, I think. Metal conducts electricity. I think I said it right the first time. I think we were good. Yeah, electricity is conducted by metal. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that's right. I'm not sure. Just know that electricity passes through metal. So this should technically electrocute Link, but for some reason it doesn't, which is kind of weird, but I'm not complaining. This means we can carry it without having to use magnesis. And eventually you get to parts in this area where there are going to be like water puzzles, in which case you'll have to like avoid touching the water while also using electricity. Because of course electricity is conducted through water. That's also why you hear don't get a shower, or don't get in a pond or water or anything like that while it's storming, because generally it's not a good idea because it's not safe. Because if water strikes near your house or into the water that you're in, it can electrocute you, and it's just generally not a good thing. So, alright, so we need to move this block here, and that's literally it. You just move the block slightly to the left, the shrine is done. It's not too difficult. And see, like I said, if you hop in the water, you're gonna get electrocuted, like pretty much no matter where you stand, because usually it flows through the water. Alright, anyway, that's doing it all for this shrine here. We'll get our spirit orb, and then we'll make our way into the desert. We're actually on pretty good pace. I actually like to head, probably into the desert, I would say, is probably a good place to go. We probably won't travel, well, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and then I'll kind of decide once we get to kind of where I want to be. And then if we have a little bit more time, then we'll kind of continue on. I think we'll be greeted by a cutscene once we enter the desert, though, of Vanaboris. So, and there's a special thing about Gerudo Town that we'll need to know before. We'll have to actually do, a side quest before heading into the desert, or heading into Gerudo Town, which is the village that is right here on our map. And we'll have to do something first before heading inside, because there's a special rule with Gerudo Desert that's not normally seen kind of anywhere else. And this guy's selling bugs, and yeah, this is why your horse can't get into Gerudo Desert, because there's a drop right here that won't allow you to pass your way through. And oh, it's 11:45. I wonder if we can make it to that shrine. Probably not. But that's the Gerudo Desert Gateway. Yeah, definitely not. The sky's turning red, and looks like we're gonna get a blood moon. So I'm just gonna skip this cutscene. Alrighty then. So, well, actually, it's kind of chilly here in the desert at night. So that's another thing about the desert. It generally likes to get a little cool at nighttime, and then during the day it's a little warm. And I actually probably want to stay on this path because it's generally easier to probably run while we're moving along this path. And there's a shrine right over there, but I think it actually gets kind of cloudy once you head over into that general direction. Kind of like that snowstorm up there. We'll definitely be getting all the shrines in this area eventually, but it'll probably be after the Divine Beast. And ooh, there's a treasure chest hidden in the sand. So we pulled it out, and okay, yeah, as you can see, once you get to like this thick sand, Link moves a lot slower. And so this thing would roll down the hill towards me, but that's not the case. So I'll bring it down towards me. And what's inside? A bundle of arrows. Not bad. Alright, so now that we're here, yeah, here's the cutscene I was talking about. Alrighty, so there's Divine Beast Boris. And so, there seems to be a woman here with the spear, so, what does she have to say? And this is the Karkar Bazaar. Saba Saba. This is Karkar Bazaar. Gerudo town is still a fair distance southwest of here. If you're headed there, you should consider resting a bit. Though you are a Vo, even if you make it to town, you won't be able to get in. All the same, the Divine Beast is kicking up a storm right now, so I don't recommend going to Gerudo town. Goodbye. Did you know the desert night get incredibly cold? You'll be fine as long as you're here in Karkar Bazaar, but it can really get chilly farther away you wander. Yeah, so the temperature is normal here in Karkar Bazaar, and it'll stay that way pretty much no matter what. And she did say, we are, a Vo, so we won't be able to get into Gerudo town, and, the game does explain this to you after a bit, but, I think I'll just go ahead and explain it now. Saba Saba or Sabaho or whatever you hear from the Gerudo women around here. And by the way, yes, all the Gerudo are women. That's a story actually I'll tell right after this. That's basically their way of saying hello, and every time you talk to one, that's what you'll hear. And basically what they're saying is a Vo is considered a male and a Va is a woman. Kind of like Spanish, I guess, in terms of like speaking, because that's generally what they use for like Spanish and stuff. So like when you speak Spanish, you know, there's like O's and A's. So like when you speak, O is usually masculine and A's are feminine, and that's how like the Spanish language works. And so it kind of reminds me of that in a way. And I'm just gonna avoid these guys. They're not too tricky to take out, and they'll give me some arrows. Or you know what, actually, I'm not gonna ignore you anymore. Just come here. Okay, never mind. You're either gonna get close or you're not gonna get close. Thank you. Take you out. His body's gonna reappear because these guys are gonna want to shoot at me. And I'm not sure what she's doing, but we'll just kind of leave her be. It's generally not safe to travel during the night because you'll get like electric keys and stuff. And yeah, by the way, you can never drop the Hylian shield, no matter what. Anytime you get electrocuted, it's not gonna happen. So you generally don't have to worry about it. But since we are a male, we actually won't be allowed in Gerudo town because Gerudo town is a female-only area. So we're gonna have to find a way to kind of sneak inside. But for now, I think we should just head over here and actually see how we would be able to do that. Because I'm sure if we can just find a secret way in, that'll be in, right? That'll be it. Oh, geez, this guy's showing up again. And we've never seen this bow. This is a strengthened lizard bow. Actually, we'll take it because it's pretty powerful. It's our second most powerful bow here. We'll take the tails. I don't worry about the arm. And yeah, even though there is technically a path here, the desert sand is still pretty high, so it's definitely harder to walk here. You get the same kind of debuff walking around here as you would running around in the snowy biomes of like the mountains and stuff, like up there or in Hebra or even on Lanayru. And before we head over to the entrance of Gerudo town, let's actually head over here and grab this shrine. This will allow us to warp back to Gerudo town, and of course it's not in Gerudo town unlike some of the other shrines and stuff, because of course if you warp there with like your male attire on and they can tell that you're a male, you won't be able to get in. They'll spot you immediately. So yeah, there is technically no way to sneak into Gerudo town or just avoid the guards. It's not really how it works. You definitely will get caught, and it's not a good thing. Let's see how this is going to work here. So you have to activate both of these, and one of these has a chest and the other one has something else. So let's move this here. Okay, that's got both of them now. There's going to be another block around here somewhere that we can use. Okay, actually, no. We'll have to do this side first. Actually, let me take this block and grab it so I can use it over here. Actually, we're going to have to move it over this way and sit it in here, and we'll grab this barrel now. So about Gerudo Desert, yeah, you won't be able to sneak in with any kind of like sneaky tactics. They're always going to spot you no matter what. And so really what has to happen is you have to avoid them. Avoid the... Actually, maybe better if we... No, because that'll knock the path off there. So this isn't going to work, is it? We need one more metal kind of object to use. We could drop like a sword maybe, and that may work. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I know what we can do. We can actually come back over here, and I can get this thing open here just with like one item, and we should be good to go and grab that chest. Okay, so actually let's move this down here. Move this big block over here right there. And then we'll move this here. And that should... Is it really not opening this door? Oh, there it goes. We just weren't close enough. Actually, that's going to open that door. But either way, that gives us an extra item that we can use. Let's see. Actually, if we do this here, and then move this to right there, and then we can move this block here, we can open up the other side and grab this chest. Be careful to avoid touching any of those blocks or anything, because you will take damage from the electricity. Alright, so let's open this up. Alright, open it. Link, open it. Thank you. And inside of it is a Thunder Blade. Inventory's full, and it's probably gonna stay that way because we have like literally every thunder item like available. So we'll probably just, well, I mean, I could drop the, might as well take it. We'll drop the Guardian Spear because I mean it does more damage, but I mean we have a lot of it, but it doesn't really matter. Let's be real here, guys. It doesn't really matter if we have 3 of them. It doesn't matter if our entire inventory was full of them. They're still pretty darn useful, so I would definitely use it for something like that. But we do have to open up everything in here in order to like actually complete the shrine, because you will need that block, and you will need at least like the chest and like some other things in order to open like in order to activate both of these here, because there's one on this side and one on that side, which is going to open that door. And this is probably the longest shrine that we're going to take on in this episode. We've definitely had longer shrines that take longer, but this one is it's quite tedious because you have to pick up things and move them around, and then move it around again, and then again one more time. Alright, that should almost do it. Just weren't quite close enough. Okay, that's not gonna quite do. There we go. Once we drop that, this door is gonna open. And now it's a simple matter of bringing this onto this side, placing it here, and then also figuring out a way to activate it somehow. Actually, I think it'll activate from, yeah, that side. So as long as we grab this block, we should be good to go. When we place it here, it's going to activate both on both sides. It's going to open the door, and we're going to be allowed out of here. Alright, so let's grab onto this, or grab onto nothing. We're not grabbing on anything. I'm not even sure what I'm saying at this point, guys. Let's grab our spirit orb, and then we'll get on out of here. And I think that's actually going to do it for this episode here, guys. And there's nothing really else I wanted to do. We kind of made it here to Gerudo Desert. And, well, you know, actually, let's talk to those Gerudo right outside the gate there, just to kind of see what's going on here. And see if maybe we can persuade them to letting us in or something. I guess we shouldn't end the episode yet. It's still too early. Alright, so let's go talk to these guys over here. We'll just avoid that guy for now. There's no reason to talk to him or anything. So let's talk to you guys. What do you have to say? Savolta. Wait you're a Vo. Vos are forbidden here in Gerudo Town. Only Vi are allowed inside. Vo? When I say Vo, I mean man, obviously. You don't even know the difference between Vo and Vi, and you're trying to enter town? And of course, if we say Vi, when I say Vi, I mean woman, obviously. And she's going to say the same thing. So, bye. All Vo must leave at once. Yeah, so we're not going to be allowed in. Savolta. Sorry, but in Gerudo Town, it is tradition that Vo are not permitted entry. We honor that tradition very strictly. If you need to prepare for a journey, you should head to the oasis near the desert entrance, Karkar Bazaar. Sorry, Bo. Not Bo, Vo. Bite your bottom lip as you say it. It translates as man in your language. So as long as we're on the subject, Vi is our word for woman. What do you think? Pretty easy to remember. Yeah, I guess so. And so if you try to walk in, this will happen. The guards will turn, face you. Freeze. Where do you think you're going? Not into town, that's for sure. No Vo allowed. Off with you. And they'll pretty much kick us out of town. So we're going to need to find another way in. So we're actually going to do that in the next episode. So if you guys did like this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. It's up to the channel a lot. And if you want to see more content like this, please do consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Connor. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one.